But here's the problem.
From that too.
You can't be so spiritually minded that you're no earthly good.
Yeah.
And I think that's the problem with the church. That we're so up in the clouds that we can't deal with reality. And our kids are falling by the wayside. The most amount of divorces are in the church because people are getting married to have sex and they don't know about the person that they're with.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we need to kind of change that narrative.
Or
Yeah.
you're pressured the other way to do good, as I was, because you had no room. You couldn't do anything bad because my sister, my brother, they did that. So I felt terrible for my
But are
parents.
they happy right now?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
Point
no.
proven.
But where I'm at now, I've had my rough patches. Yeah, we're always going to have that. I'm healing, I'm growing. But I'm more happier now than I ever was
There you
than
go.
before. Because I've learned it was rough. It sucked. Still, but you're learning and you're growing. And you're happy now compared to where you were before. But
And I think
know
we
they're
need
not.
to teach
They're
our children how to be their authentic selves.
Mm-hmm.
Not what we want. Yes, we want the very best for them,
Yeah.
but we can't force them into something that they don't want to do
No.
because then they become rebellious.
Of course.
And we
then-
want to still have that healthy relationship with our kids. Like my kids will call me for anything. Like I have my middle child. God knows he taught me how to pray. But you know what? Anything happens, I'm the first person he's calling. It's on speaker and I know what's
That's what
happening.
you want.
And that's what I want.
Exactly.
I want to know what's happening in the moment.
And I love that, and I wish I try to do that too with my mom and whatnot. But it gets difficult because there's certain things. She even said we almost had an argument that I named Mother. I said Mom, but I'm an adult now. We should be able to have these adult.
Yeah.
I'm not a kid. I'm always going to be your child, and that's how I understand you guys are going to always be. We're always your kids. I get that forever.
not
It
a
doesn't
kid.
stop. But I'm not a kid. I'm like, Mom, I'm an adult. We need to be able to have these discussions because I'm an adult now. But she's like, no, I named Mom, so you can't say certain things.
Right.
She listens to me sometimes more so than my sister and brother because of how I talk. I don't cuss or yell or do say, so sometimes she hears, but she still has this persona, and I wish she was more like you, where it's her way or no way kind of thing, and cousins.
But okay, so the
Well,
two of you,
sorry,
the three of you have children.
Do you think that stems from her relationship
Oh,
with her mother?
yeah, there's
Absolutely.
trauma
Okay,
upon trauma,
okay,
generational
okay.
stuff. And I
Yes.
said, Mom, this has to break. And I
That's
tried to
right.
break certain
So the
things.
three of you, your adult children come to you and say, you know what, I'm struggling with alcohol or weed. What are you saying?
I'm talking struggling how?
Addiction.
Sorry?
You.
An addiction.
If they come to me and telling me that they're struggling,
Mm-hmm.
and what they need from me.
Yeah, in terms, you're struggling in what
Yeah.
terms?
Right. So
Exactly.
you're struggling
So
with
we need-
alcohol or weed, and
Addiction.
with an addiction, and I'm coming to you, and Mom, Dad, I need your help. This is what I'm struggling with. Like, as a Christian, what are you doing?
Or I'm getting the help if he needs. I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to tell him. I'm going to actually research all the things that he needs to know on what's going to happen with this addiction and what's the outcome if he continues. Right? I mean, it's just.
Me? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
My apologies. Go
No,
ahead.
go ahead.
No, go ahead, go ahead. Y'all talk about the same children, so.
Right, I know.
I hope your answers are
I know.
almost the
Okay,
same.
go ahead. I'm done.
Well,
You're talking.
no. Well, I think I wouldn't pull religion into it, I'll be honest.
No, not religion.
No, because she's more of a devout Christian.
Yes.
That's
where
why.
you
So
are,
for
you're a
me-
Christian, but she's a devout Christian, right? So you might have two completely different answers.
But you need to separate religion, though, because that's what's causing a lot of the issues. It's
But-
the
Girl,
relationship with God. That's what it is. So,
What-
and that's what I really pry on, because if it wasn't for God getting me through all this and the people He's placed in my life and the situations He's placed as well, I wouldn't be sitting here right now.
100%.
I have to give God all the praise,
100%.
because then I will continue no matter what anybody tells me.
1,000%.
But do I go to church? I'm admitting it, no. But I listen online, and I can still get the same things, right? But my mom, she still throws those things at me. Cause knows, Mom's always throwing these remarks at me because she knows she can get me compared to my sister and my brother who will tell her off, right? So yeah, it's not about religion. That's what's messing a lot of
100%.
people up.
And that's why I said I wouldn't automatically resort back to, well, this is what the Bible says. I would keep that separate. I would be point blank, well, you know what? You're going to continue down this path. This is where your help is going to be. This is where you're going to be in 2 years. This is where you're going to be in 5 years. This is where you're going to be in 10 years, right? So I would automatically go to the health aspect of it. Because at that age, they're not really receiving to the religious or the biblical aspect of it
I know
at
what-
such a young age. They're more or less looking at it like, okay, well, why are you so concerned? Well, I'm concerned about your health. Do you want to be here for this amount of time?
Yeah.
Let's talk about how it's going to affect. Let's talk about how it's going to affect your heart. Let's talk about
That's
how it's going
right.
to affect your brain.
Research it. Yeah.
Let's do some research on
Research
how it
on
affects
how
you.
it's gonna affect you.
Once they grasp that, hopefully if they grasp that, then I can ease into, you know what, also, it's, Bible says you're not supposed to indulge in so much alcohol, you know what I mean? And it's also a sin against your body if you're indulging in so much. But I wouldn't go right away
I'm
into
not
the religious
saying,
aspect of it.
yeah. But then I'm always gonna come out with wanting to pray with you, wanting to,
Right.
cover you because that's what it is. And if you're laying that foundation as the child grows, yeah, there's gonna be ups and downs. Don't get me wrong. They're gonna might fall in, fall out, but you're hoping that for train up the way a child should go, and he will not depart. He will never. So hopefully they'll come back to it, right? At some point,
That's right.
and then understand and you mix the physical health aspects and then mental health aspects. Our parents don't understand that mental health. Like what are you? Even this show yesterday. Sorry, I'm all over the place. It's called and you're gonna be like, what the heck? I started watching Tyler Perry's Divorced Sisters. It's on BET. And this one girl on there, she was like, well, your generation and this mental health and addictions. She was going on and on that like it wasn't an issue. So I like the fact that you guys are bringing this into the situation because it is a huge issue.
Absolutely. And let's not be again naive to the fact that if we're not teaching our kids, guess who's teaching it?
It's
Media.
getting worse. And this
Social
is the
media.
next part of the
And
generation.
the school system.
And the school
Oh,
system.
yeah.
The
right?
school system is 100%
Yeah.
teaching our kids because they're majority of the time they're there and then they come home to us. So whatever they're feeding our kids is what they're learning.
100%.
And they have a full they have this program of what they're already teaching the kids from generation to generation to generation to generation. And it's hard for us now to kind of control that when they're already being controlled.
And guess what? If we speak up and we tell our kids don't listen to that, or that's not
It's already been
that's
told.
not right. Guess what happens? They go back to the school and say, "My
Mommy
and
said
daddy said
that,
this."
and then
You have
they're
to,
controlling
because
our kids.
it's your roof they're living under. My mom, we tried that. Oh, and she set us straight. You go, you call the police, then they're gonna take you
That's
away.
right.
You're never gonna come
And
back.
that's what
you're
they're
gonna
teaching
be
our
raped. You're
kids.
gonna be all these things are gonna happen.
And then they complain.
No, I would tell my
Then they
child that. I don't care what
complain
anybody tells
when
me.
the kids are doing these things now in real life outside of school and they're stealing, they're doing these things, and they're behaving this way.
Undisciplined, yeah.
Because now, well, mom and dad can't be me, and they already know that, so they become rebellious. And then they do all the things that they know they're not supposed to do.
Yeah.
And they are not controlled by it because
Yeah.
they
That's
But
right.
they're
listen,
controlled by the government.
I always
spoil
think
themselves.
Yeah.
the
Oh,
foundational,
go.
the fundamentals
what
that we
happens.
instill in our children from their young
Yeah.
is what portrays when they get older.
Yeah.
So even if they go astray, they're gonna come back and remember
I
what
just
we
said
instilled
that.
in them.
Yeah, from the Bible.
But I want to
But how
ask.
can we instill when we're working all the time and trying to pay for mortgage, pay for rent, pay for food when we're busy and we can't do all this stuff
Beat
for
them, yes.
because we are busy taking care of them.
But here's
you
understand
remember
what
that?
I'm saying?
here's what I
we got
found.
the beat.
I don't want those licks
As
again.
the older
Back in the
person
day,
on
we
this,
were
I'm the
able to
older
do
person
that.
on this panel,
You should.
that
Wrong.
no matter
You can hit them.
how they strayed by their friends or association, they
Or
always
school.
remember the fundamentals. Like I worked 2 jobs. I had to work 2 jobs in order to get them through rep whatever sports they were playing in. But now that they're in their 30s, that's grounded in them and I see them coming back. I see them coming back to what was instilled in them. And we just have to believe that as parents, we've done the right thing. Some of them are going to take what we did.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be the opposite of this. Your generation, it was a lot easier. You see, now with these young ones having kids, they're not there for the kids. They're not even there to say a word or say, "Hey, you know what? You shouldn't do this." They're at work working,
My
busting
brother
their
and
butt
his lady
because
has a
they
child,
cannot
yeah.
afford to sit here and teach a kid because they have to go out there and work 2
They're
jobs.
sitting there doing nothing. You're wondering what the heck they're doing all day.
They're
but I can't
working.
say anything.
But
The
then,
parents are
but
working.
then as parents, as grandparents, we have to step into some of that gap.
That's on.
But you
That's
can't sometimes because if the parent doesn't allow that, and I'm not saying you, I'm just saying sometimes the parents they don't let you do anything. They're particular. So this is
Then you beat that parent and you beat your grandchild right after.
My mom tries with my niece.
Yeah.
My mom tries with my niece, but the mother is and again, I'm not trying to discriminate or downplay or whatever, but I'm honest. Some parents don't do anything.
Yeah.
So they're sitting there. You're wondering what they're doing, and then my brother's doing things one side, but he can only do so much because then you're there. What are you doing?
And I think here's the problem. We were raised in a generation where our parents beat the daylights out of us.
You feared your
I
parent.
got it.
You feared your parent more than the cops.
Right, and then we became the generation was like, I'm not gonna beat my children. They
Yeah,
have an
yeah.
opinion and blah blah blah. So we went too far the other way. We need to be somewhere in the middle.
middle.
No, I want to beat my children. I had to get it. Nah, you got to experience. One time I'm giving you, at
Listen,
some point I
you
got to
say
give you.
something out
You
of
gotta
line.
fear me
Nah.
somewhere or the
But
other.
Honestly, you don't go over
No,
and
I'm not
flick your
talking.
lip.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm not talking
One time,
about.
okay.
I'm gonna
we get
pinch
it.
you
We
under
get
the
it.
arm right here so nobody sees it, but you're gonna know what you did was wrong.
Listen,
Now you
tell my
pinch them and go like, ah, she's pinching